Welcome to another edition of the Run It Up Challenge at Hustle Sports. We move forward to day 11. So as always, I just want to take some time, cover the cash lines, cover what we went with yesterday, cover what we're going to go with today, take a look at some bets, and see where we like our numbers. So once again, you guys know me, I'm Moose. You guys know who I work for, Hustle Sports. Check us out at Hustle Sports GG. I run it myself. We've got patrons. We've got a Patreon account you can access where I give out lineups for every slate. I do everything in terms of LCS, Academy, LEC, and we're going to be doing LPL, LCK. And so we are going to have an Academy line given out tonight, which will be put up here shortly in the Patreon. So if you're into that, I'll have this video up for that. But personally, I'm just going to go with projections provided by the one and only PedroDagos.io. And of course, thank you very, very much, James, for everything you do, and very, very spot on projections. About 90% of the time, I would say. You know, there's always variance involved in League of Legends, but it is what it is. So we're going to talk a little bit about our recent cash lineup and our yesterday's cash lineup. So yesterday, guys, was a fat L. We were about, we were 7 points away from the cash line. Barely cash line. So had we played barrel like I originally wanted to, and maybe not LWX, but Teddy, I'm guessing we get there. I am guessing that we get there because Teddy put up a ton of points, 82 compared to, yeah, we get there. So we were really close to cashing. We just needed the right exposure. I should have gone with the Showmaker Teddy. Gonna hit myself in the face right now because that would have given us the exact exposure that we needed. But you know, this is sometimes how it is. JDG didn't perform that well. FPX lost, and our Chalk Faker did really poorly because the two games went so quick. So I had this lineup, and then I also had Showmaker Teddy lineup, which had Showmaker Teddy, and I believe it was Lumao and FPX, and maybe that would have been a better choice, but I don't know how many points FPX put up, 41. So maybe not. But overall, I think that I did my best, and this was the best lineup that I decided would give us the most exposure to FPX, T1, and JDG, where I thought the money would be. I thought that Afrika Freaks had the best chance of upsetting Damwon. Of course, that was not the case, and we'll take a look at the results of those games. But, you know, you do got to pick your battles, and one of the things that SMC Cardi in the Discord and also the abs in the Discord told me is that, you know, one of my own rules is try to stick to as little teams as possible to make your lineup. You know, you get exposure here and there, but with a slate like yesterday where you have 4 separate favorited matchups, I think it's a really hard slate to play, and I think you do have to get exposure to them all in some way or form. So sometimes that's just how it is. You know, we're just going to have to roll with the punches. So, again, it would have been a simple swap between Showmaker and Teddy here. Gets us where we need to go. I changed this last minute and because I wanted LWX, and perhaps that was the wrong play. I had much bigger expectation for TN and a much worse expectation for Canyon. I thought Canyon was not going to do this well, but it looks like he's really picking up his strides. Afrika Freaks were giving up a significantly less amount of points to jungle than mid. And I thought that Canyon would definitely be a stronger GPP play where I played him. And so, yeah, I mean, a lot of people basically when the chalk hit with Canyon and DWG, that's pretty much how the cookie's gonna crumble in that regard. So it is what it is. We can roll with the punches. So we did lose our butt last night, $64. So part of our day 10 challenge was gonna be down to $400. So we entered day 11 looking for another big win. I'm going to be probably going for 500 because I'm pretty upset from this loss. I really hate losing in a situation where I almost cash. That's almost as bad for me as just flat out winning. Going to take a look at the winning lineup in the Elder Dragon, which is, you know, a very sizable tournament. But I love the line. A simple Canyon jungle stack between DWG and T1. Something people don't expect. Something normally that won't cash, and the opposite of that with Kuz and Canyon coming through. A very weird night for sure, where the double jungle kind of hits a lot harder. And honestly, the more that I play League of Legends, the more I'm really am leaning towards the jungle. I really do like jungle a lot in terms of I'm okay with captaining it, I'm okay with featuring it, and this is a perfect example of that. This is just a simple Damwon T1 stack where BC Fraser, Eric, and Swint, and Fantasy Dude, and Shang used their brains and said, okay, how do we differentiate ourselves? And this is a pretty good way to differentiate yourself. You featured a double jungle lineup, 2 LCK slates. If the LPL doesn't go your way, then this is good. So the LPL didn't go our way because FPX lost, even though they scored 17 kills. They got outscored 17 kills here, and a weird 6-2 game. What was that? And it was a game where Vici won. This can't be right. There has to be more kills than that in there. I mean, I'll take a look, but that is crazy. SKT taking care of business. Damwon taking care of business. The thing about Damwon is that they feed their carries so well, man. They feed Showmaker so well. I think Showmaker is getting to the point where he is a must slate type of guy. So let's take a look at tonight. As always, I'm going to release the final lineup tonight on patreon.com/hustlesports. Follow me on Twitter, message me, even if you don't want to sub. I'll help you build your cash lineup. But guys, please don't take advantage of me. There's been a lot of people messaging me. Please don't do that thing where you want to be the top dude messaging me every day, asking me for lineup help. Just sub. Just pay me the $20. Okay? It's $20, guys. I give out lineups. I play hundreds of dollars a night. I play thousands of dollars a night. I sound like a president right now, but the point is that I'm trying to say is that it's $20 per month. It's less than $1 a day. Just take the deal and join us on the Discord, where I'm surrounded by so many knowledgeable people that follow me and respect me, and I respect them. And on top of that, you get all my picks. You get all my bets. So, yeah, rough night. I expected JDG to 2-0. That would have boosted our score. I expected FBX to 2-0. That would have boosted our score. But you can't control the outcomes of these situations sometimes. So all we can do is move forward and learn and keep learning how to differentiate ourselves in GPP and how to set up our cash lineups. So just going to take a look at tonight's matchups. We're going to take a look at LCK first. So as expected, we have Gen G minus 500. Got to get yourself some Gen G on this slate against Team Dynamics. I'm looking forward to Gen G performing well against that team. KT Roaster, another strong anchor team, which will be cheaper, I believe. And Aiming, monster player. Love him on this team. I love being able to use Aiming in my lineups. I also am hoping that if Tucson's not better and they announce so on again, I will definitely be playing heavy KT stacks. That is how I almost won the Elder, and that's how I'm going to play it. You have to use the knowledge to your advantage, and I think that this could be a good matchup considering the fact that Sandbox do give up a ton of points. They are coming off strong victories. Sandbox have been doing really well lately. They're coming off of victories off of Hanwha Life and Dynamics, but I think KT Roaster are just a little bit better in this regard. You know, they did take DRX the other day, so I do like that. The KT Roaster is up and down, but they do tend to bully worse teams, and Sandbox are just not there for me. I think that KT will take this game, so I don't have a problem rostering, again, either LCK team tonight. Now let's take a look at LPL tonight. I do have a problem with one matchup tonight, and that is going to be the OMG Bilibili Gaming matchup, and I'll show you guys why. So when you take a look at this matchup is a complete standstill. It is a total tie fest. Now, personally, based on what I've seen, I think OMG win this matchup. And I think that perhaps because you want to save salary, you can feature either the OMG team or maybe an OMG player like Hacker or Icon. But I could easily see them lose because they haven't been performing that well. And I think this is a toss-up game, but I think OMG do win this matchup based on what I've seen from BLG before. So I definitely think that is probably the direction I will go, but my goal is not to focus my lineups around that. Taking a look at the lineups, they are starting Kingen again, and they will go to ADD on BLG side. OMG's lineup is the same. Taking a look at the Invictus lineup tonight, all the same. They are bringing in Baolan against E-Star. So I think that Baolan will be heavily underowned. So good luck in that regard if you're using Baolan. So let's take a look at our cash lineup. let's see what we can make here. And perfect, we're gonna be slated for a nice 15-minute video, and I love when it hits. So as always, guys, he started giving up a ton of points. I definitely want my lineups to forward focus on this. So just like yesterday, we're gonna go Gen. We're gonna go. I'll put OMG here for now. I don't particularly know how I want to feature them, so I'm gonna make my way down. I do like the fact that Ruler is cheaper on the slate. I like Rookie's price and Ruler's price on the slate. Based on the hard chalk theory that I like to use, you could also go with UCal, as he did perform very well against DRX. You could also go with, well, you could get Sat for Kuro, so I don't exactly know. I think both of them have a chance there. Therefore, for now, I am going to settle on the Ruler, and then from there we'll make our way down and see how we do. So what, actually, so funny. Man, what a game. Okay, so if I recall, E-Star are giving up a ton of points in the 80 carry spot. They're giving up a ton of points in the mid lane and in the jungle. So Balon at 5,400 might be a sneak pick here because you're getting this cheaper than Reheal, but they will sit Balon if they lose. So make sure you only play that in GPP lineups. We don't know if Tucson is going to be active today, so we might have to be kind of on our toes about this lineup. But for now, it looks like our choices are going to be Kellen Life, who I don't like, Cold, who I like, but I don't know if OMG wins that matchup, Tucson, who we don't know if he's going to be completely out, or Balon. So for now, I'm just going to feature Balon, and then we'll go from there. As always, you guys know I like to save at the team slot to be able to fit more in my lineups. So looking to here, I think I'm going to go and take Big Rook after a nice game against BLG. I think I want exposure to this E-Star game, but I also want exposure to the KT game. So I might play something like that. That gives me 6K here, 6K here. Okay, so if we take that, that'll pretty much provide us with the exposure. We'll see if Tucson is out, but we'll see how this goes in terms of getting exposure to the people that we want. So I'm going to take Big Rook here. I'm going to probably take Rascal here. I think Rascal's been performing pretty well, other than that T1 loss. I think he was on kind of a roll. I have to look at what the fantasy matchups are telling me, because the fantasy matchups are never wrong. Like if you look, like yesterday, Kana was the highest projected player on the slate in terms of top lane. So let's see how he did in the top lane. And let's see, Nogari did 416 and 316.5, and then Kana, I believe, had a monster game. He had a 4-5 game, and then he had a 7-6 game here. So definitely good exposure there. Could have got my T1 exposure there, and then just settled on Showmaker. But I don't listen to myself because I'm an idiot. So let's keep building this lineup. I have my Ruler pick. I have aiming in here, which is nice exposure to that KT slot. I don't want too much LCK in this lineup. So how do we get exposure to everything that we want on this slate? That's really the question we want to ask ourselves. Do we want to assume Tucson is playing at the KT slot and just play it like this? Is that too much KT? Maybe. Do we go with Balon? Maybe, but I guess we'll have to see if Tucson is playing. I'm probably going to have to do this. I'm probably just going to take aiming and Tucson, and then perhaps if he's not playing, then I will just take Sawan at top and then just use Sawan aiming. But the problem is that tonight is kind of screwed when it comes to the support slot. I mean, Reheal's not playing, so there's your most expensive player off the slate. Kellen could easily get subbed for life at any moment, and then you have Balon, who could get sub for Reheal or Southwind at any moment. And then you have just Cold. I might just take Cold, right? Just don't worry about all this and sell on a line for now. So let's see Cold, because I don't know if Tucson still has Eneritis. If he's not gonna play, then I'm okay with not featuring him. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, so we have our KT. So that's pretty much our OMG exposure, but we'll see how we want to play tonight. So I do want to pay up for the Shy. I think the Shy did have a good game against BLG, and Xiaobai is giving up a lot on the top. But I think if you're playing it safe, you want to go with Rascal and just call it a day, and then you probably want to get Ning here if you can. I think that they're giving up a ton of points in the jungle, so we are gonna need to make some adjustments to this slate, but we'll figure it out. So let's see, if we go rookie BDD, maybe we get our exposure that way. No, we can't do that. Icon's been performing pretty well. There's a lot of questions on this slate, and the worst part is that we're not gonna know KT's starting lineup until late. So people might not be risking the Tucson pick. People might not be risking the Sowon pick. We have no clue. Yeah, it's a real toss-up tonight in terms of who you go with. I think, honestly, we're probably going to be stuck rostering OMG then. And I hate to say it, but I think that's the case. Because I'm looking at this line, and I just don't see where I'm playing the right people. So we've got the Ruler, we've got the Rascal, we've got the Ning. So if you're playing more of a safe lineup, you could go with Rookie here or BDD. So maybe like a Ning Rookie cold stack. So perhaps something like that, and just spread it out across 4 teams. I mean, I really do want access to aiming in the spot. I think that SB do give up a ton of points, and aiming and wins, man. He is just solid. When they win, he performs well. So I really do think that unless SB are a bad fantasy matchup in terms of lane position and their ability to perform, I think that you have to go with this spot. And so you could also maybe come off of Ning and take Klid, but I mean, Klid's had a couple great games before that T1 game as well. But I do want a lot of exposure to this slate, so I really don't know how you would do it. If we take a look at the pricing, we see that Ruler is cheaper than aiming. So if we go aiming in the captain slot, that's not going to do us any good. You could also take Puff and Ruler, I guess. Right? That just might be expensive. That might just be really expensive. Let's see, Ruler, Puff. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit too expensive for my taste. I think based on the fact that we have absolutely no clue what's going to happen in the support line, you have to take OMG. And that's kind of weird. Because, normally you don't want to get exposure to OMG unless you have to. But I think in this case, I think we might have to because we just don't know if we have another choice. So yeah, this is definitely going to be another one of those days where I'm going to spend way too much time on this line. Because I do want the exposure to Ruler. I do want the exposure to Puff. I do want the exposure to aiming. And that'll be my KT exposure. So that pretty much leaves me where I want to be for the slate. I guess it's going to be a wild one. The only other thing I can see doing is, if you come off of aiming, do we have any other choices? Yeah, no, we don't. I mean, you could risk it with SMLZ, and then you could pay up for Invictus or KT in terms of their teams. But I think based on performances, I don't know what is going to happen in terms of the performance, and I do want exposure to aiming, and I do want exposure to Ruler. So what is the only thing that I can see that's paying up for a cheaper captain? Well, paying down for a cheaper captain, which would be like Klid, right? Because I don't know if Yukal's starting or he's going to get replaced by Kuro. I don't know what's going to happen with if you do rookie here, and then you go BDD, who's like really expensive, right? Yeah, there's just no room. So mess around a little bit, but I definitely want exposure to these 4 teams tonight in some way, and you might have to punt a couple picks, and that sucks to hear, but it's all about getting the safety of your lineup. And then if you're starting Balon, and Balon loses the first game with IG, they're gonna bring in Softwind or Reheal. They're not gonna mess around. They're trying to find their support for the rest of the split. So definitely mess around. Final lineup will be out tonight on Hustle Sports. We're winning tonight, boys. I'm pumped. So if you want to join Hustle Sports, check me out at patreon.com/hustlesports or hustlesportsgg. And check out my Twitter. Like, comment, sub the vid. Thank you guys so much for another day. Day 11. Let's win it back, boys. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. Take care.